Hello there, welcome to my views. It seems that a strong message has been conveyed to Ethiopian Prime Minister, Ethiopian government about Ethiopia, Eritrea, ongoing tensions about PM Abiy's position regarding access to the Red Sea. The message was conveyed yesterday through some statements. We'll try to analyze these statements. Secondly, Eritrea accused TPLF yesterday. Ibane Gebremeskel, the information minister of Eritrea, responded to a statement from the EU leveling allegations against the Tigray People's Liberation Front. In 2000, Ethiopia and Eritrea signed a peace agreement, Algiers Agreement. It was 23 years ago that the two sides met and the 2 year long war came to an end. The war began in 1998. In 2000, they agreed on some terms, including border demarcation. Algiers agreement included border demarcation. Border demarcation could not happen. 23 years have passed so far. Algiers agreement has not been fully implemented, you can say. It was 12th of December 2000 when Algiers agreement was signed. Sorry. And yesterday it was 12th of December. In connection with the anniversary of Algiers agreement, we saw statements. Statements from the US statements, US State Department and EU. These statements are very significant. Why was the need for US and EU to speak about Algiers agreement? What is written in these statements? I think through these statements, EU and US have jointly sent a strong message to Ethiopian PM Abiy's government. Why? What is this message about? What are the statements about? The same statement has been shared by the US State Department and European Union. So both are on the same page, it means, when it comes to ongoing Eritrea-Ethiopia tensions. The statement about anniversary of Algiers agreement should be seen in the background of ongoing tension between the two countries, Ethiopia and Eritrea. Statement is not just about an agreement we signed 23 years ago. No. The statement is definitely linked to the present situation. I want to share an important points from the statement released yesterday. Both US State Department, EU have shared the same statement. Almost quote unquote. I want to read the statement, then we'll try to analyze it. In 23 years ago, the statement says, 23 years ago, Ethiopia and Eritrea committed to border demarcation. In 2018, they recommitted to respect borders, each other's borders. Next sentence, very important. It is important that territorial integrity and sovereignty of both borders are respected. Now, why was the need for a statement that territorial integrity and sovereignty must be respected? It seems that both the US and EU believe they have received credible intelligence that Ethiopian government, Ethiopian PM Abiy are planning something which could be a violation of territorial integrity and sovereignty of Eritrea. PM Abiy's recent position that Ethiopia has natural rights to gain access to the sea could not get regional or international acceptance. So through this statement, I think both EU and US have rejected PM Abiy's position about the Red Sea, access to the Red Sea, firstly. Secondly, at the same time, the two want Eritrea to withdraw its forces from Tigray. So the statement is a message for Eritrea too, that Eritrea will have to withdraw its forces from Tigray, from those territories which Tigray claims to be part of Tigray. Though Eritrean officials in their private conversation say that Eritrean military is deployed in those areas, those towns only, which are part of Eritrea. But on the side of Tigray, people say that Tigray territory is under Eritrean control. So we can say that through this statement, both EU, US sent warning to both the countries, Eritrea and Ethiopia. But main warning is for Ethiopian PM Abiy, because PM Abiy's government tried to build a narrative that no matter what happens, Ethiopia must gain access to the sea. We saw statements from ministers, Ethiopian media, aired documentaries, reports. So, and then Ethiopia displayed its modern weapons. It organized a military parade in Addis Ababa. We received reports about mobilization of military on border too. At this point of time, it seems both EU and US don't want a conflict in the Red Sea. They cannot afford a conflict in the Red Sea. Ideally, they would like to remove Isaias Afwerki. They would like to disband Isaias Afwerki's government. They might try to make they might try to use Ethiopia against Eritrea, but not at this point of time. Why? Because Red Sea is already very destabilized. International community's economic interests uh, can only be protected if Red Sea marine traffic flow continues unabated. If somehow there is disruption, international community will suffer. And already we are seeing that Red Sea is becoming destabilized. Houthis are attacking commercial ships there. Houthis are attacking Israeli other commercial ships. And US destroyers, US frigates are patrolling the waters. They are targeting Houthi assets to military assets. Already there are tensions in the Red Sea. If Ethiopia decides to make a move into the Red Sea, it would be a big escalation. So I think that both statements are meant mainly for Ethiopia and to some extent meant for Eritrea too. That it will have to withdraw its forces from some areas which Tigray claims to be part of Tigray. PM Abiy's narrative, we can conclude, of access to the Red Sea is not selling. Regionally, globally, it is not getting acceptance, it seems. Secondly, Yemane Gebremeskel spoke yesterday in connection with the anniversary of Algiers Agreement. He quoted a statement of European Union, which I spoke on a few minutes ago. And he said that Eritrea has impeccable record of adhering to international agreements. TPLF flouted Algiers agreement with impunity for almost 2 decades. So the Eritrean government is accusing TPLF. That it was TPLF which did not adhere to Algiers agreement. Border could not be demarcated because of intransigence of TPLF. And that is what Eritrean position is. It has been Eritrean position for decades that TPLF, backed by US and West, violated Algiers agreement, when TPLF did not face any consequences because it had backing of Western powers. Western powers were against Eritrea, so they wanted to remove Isaias Afwerki. They could not. They used TPLF against Eritrea. This is what Eritrea's position has been for years. But I think things have changed now, at least to the extent of PM Abiy's position to gain access to the Red Sea. Here, PM Abiy's government is not getting any support. EU, US seem to be supporting Eritrean government's position. Though I wouldn't say they are Eritrean government's allies. Obviously, Eritrea is at Russia camp. But on the issue of access to Red Sea, US EU position is closer to that of Eritrea than that of Ethiopia. It's a very interesting shift, by the way, because we rarely see statements from EU and US which support Eritrean position. Mostly, Eritrea is criticized for poor human rights record, for alleged regional interventions, for no freedom of speech in the country, etc. But on the issue of Eritrea-Ethiopia tensions over access to the Red Sea, EU-US seem to be supportive of Eritrean government's position.